340. So nice to meet you and nice to see you again. My name is Jason, and what is a daily dose of hope? A daily dose of hope is just that. It's an attempt to find that middle path. We want to find that path in between the two. So that is what we're trying to do. Hold on one second. There's something a little bit wrong here. Hold on. So we're trying to find the middle path. We're trying to find a path between the yin and the yang. And so as you know, the yin and yang symbol has two different sides. It has the white side and the black side. And but what we try to do is follow that middle line. And I'm trying to do a screen share now, but it is not letting me, which is interesting. Hold on. I wonder why it's... Hold on a second. So yeah, if you can just imagine the yin and yang symbol, then you can imagine, right, that there's these two sides and that we're trying to walk down that middle path. And it looks like I am not going to be able to screen share. Hold on. Yep. It's not going to work. All right. So I'll just forget about that for today. Now what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about the news a bit. So I was thinking about the news today. So I turned on, in the morning, kind of like not the news, but you look at, for example, all the different social media sites and you look at what's going on. But what happens with the news is always the news focuses on time, right? Even the word new, right? It's focusing on that there's something new. There's always something new every morning, every day that you wake up. It's new, right? But time doesn't work that way, right? Time is always there, but this perception of time is what keeps us really kind of grounded in this third dimensional world, right? Time is an illusion, but it's an illusion that we use to stay and to navigate the 3D world. Time, right? News always used, for example, the London Times, the New York Times, the Economic Times. They're always different times, Washington Times. And the info is always focused on fear and deadlines. And we follow the news, right? Many people say, I follow the news. So when we say follow, usually if you say, for example, I follow this religion, it's the same sort of thing. Your news in itself becomes, in a sense, a death cult, a death religion, because it's all death, it's all sadness, it's all fear, it's all anger. How often do you turn on the news and see something that's like, yes, that's good? Sometimes there's good news, but then they'll always flip it so that there's some other side, So we follow the news, we subscribe to the news. So the news is what creates our reality. And we're always looking for new, which means that we're not here. We're not in the moment, right? And the whole goal of all this stuff, in order to be in that middle path, we need to be neutral. We need to be here. We don't want to be in the future. We don't want to be jumping into, for example, fear and anger and sadness. And maybe, for example, in Japan, in April 1st, something's going to happen and it's going to be big and it's going to be bad. It's like, all right, whatever. Thanks for that. But I'm here. I'm not there. I'm right here, and I'm creating from where I am. I'm not creating from that place. And that's what we always have to remember. If we jump into the news, then we create from the news. We are creating the news, and so it just keeps going. It's just like this loop, this feedback loop, which are good. Feedback loops are really good for like electric guitars, but for news, it doesn't sound very good. So I wanted to talk about that a bit, about news and new things, right? New York, New Zealand, New Hampshire, new. It's all new. But all of these words, all of these things, they trap us in time. We get caught in time. And let's see. So, Michael, hello. You say, I just realized you're my main news source these days. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So everything's all about radiation, radon, and uranium, and going to the beach. Last night we had our live Q&A channeling, and in the channeling we were talking a little bit about the future. talking about what to do about the future, what to imagine. You know, where a lot of us, I know myself included, after the crazy years of craziness that we went through from 2020, the things didn't have the same luster as they used to, right? We used to kind of think about, for example, I'm speaking from my own perspective, but things that used to a certain extent, appeal to me. For example, like I have this goal, I'm going to do this thing, or so I'm a musician, I'm a composer, right? So it's like I this piece that I wrote is going to hit, or I'm going to get a commission from this huge artist, or all these different things. But those kind of things is just like, you know, I thought that would make me happy. But I realized it's like, no, I'm happy when I'm happy. And those things are just things that would happen. And maybe I'd be a little bit happy for a few seconds, but then I'm like, oh no, now I got to write this huge piece. I mean, of course you'd be happy, but it's not the fulfilled happiness that you're looking for. It's just another event that's happening in your life. It's more news, right? But what I realized from the 2020 time, when I started really, really kind of going into my spiritual practice, is that, you know, what really makes me happy, you know, just sometimes just being at peace makes me happy, you know, taking a walk, being able to take a walk without worrying about all kinds of different things, being able to just go out and eat some ice cream and not be trapped in my mind, and not be trapped by regret and fear and sorrow, you know, to be able to be free in my mind and free to do simple things. That's what I kind of realized. And so I stopped imagining things. I stopped imagining like not my happiness, but what, you know, all what I used to imagine. I used to imagine, for example, here's one example. I used to imagine, for example, I thought, I should be on TV. I thought I really need to be on TV. So I want to play guitar on TV. So I was imagining it every time I took a bath. I'd be like, just imagining myself on the TV playing guitar. And then a few months later, a friend of mine came over and he's like, hey, Jason, you know, my friend's doing this. I'm friends with this TV producer, and they want to, you know, they're looking for people. You want to come on? I was like, yeah, can I play the guitar? They're like, sure. And so I played the guitar, and online, or not online, but on TV, on Japanese TV. They cut most of it, but I got a little bit. There's like the last 30 seconds of it was on TV. And so my dream came true, right? And was I happy about it? No. I wasn't happy or sad. It was just, oh, okay. And another example is, I thought, you know, so here I live in Japan, and I was thinking, oh, you know, maybe I need some concerts in New York. I need to have a concert in New York. And then I was contacted by a performer in New York, and they said, hey, we'd love to play your piece, and maybe if you'd like to play some of your music on the concert, that would be great. And so I was like, oh, great. Okay, now I'm playing in New York, right? Or I have a concert in New York. But it's, you know, it's just that. So I was creating different things, but it's like, it's not necessarily, I thought that that's what I needed or wanted, and I got it. You get it, right? If you imagine something, you'll get it. But it's like, once you get it, are you going to be happy? And then that's what I realized, is like all these things I was wishing for, I don't even know what to wish for anymore. Like, hopefully that I can have more ice cream or something, or that I can, you know, take a walk, or that I can, you know, have Indian food every once in a while, or that I can just feel satisfied with myself, that I cannot be plagued by fear or worry or regret or sadness. These kind of things, simple things. And that doesn't have anything to do with outside of you. That's all in here, you know, dealing with the stuff inside, shadow work. And but that's where we've been, and where, you know, we are in this transition period where the old world is falling away, right? And that's what we were discussing last night. The old world is falling away. We are at what they said in the opening statement was that we are at a paradigm shift at the moment. Up until this point, we've been going up and down roller coasters, but it's the whole game is changing. It's not a theme park anymore. It's a paradigm shift that we are approaching. And so with this paradigm shift, the things that were there before are not going to be there in the way that they have been. And so then how do you imagine the future? And so while you imagine what would make you happy, and that's what we're moving towards. We're moving towards the place of creativity. Up until this point, we've been in this kind of moving and shaking kind of limbo period where we're just shaking away all of the stuff that we don't need anymore. But we're approaching the period of creativity where we are going to create our new world. What world do you want to live in? And so this is what we were talking about. And so that they suggested it would be a good idea to start practicing that. And so for example, for me recently, what I've been working on a lot in my mind is, and I think a lot of people are, when I talk to a lot of people, they're doing the same thing, which is very interesting, is a retreat. I'm working on this place out in the countryside, and it's funny, it's by a body of water, and most people's retreats are by a body of water, which is interesting. And mine is by either an ocean or a lake. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. But a calm ocean or a lake. And I have this shack, this little like small room kind of thing, comfy room, and it just has a piano in it. And it's facing the ocean, facing the water, and I can use that every morning to compose and just play or just get all the stuff out. And then the actual space is almost like a campsite, where there's like log cabins all over the place, and there's farming there, and we actually have like kind of a business too. I think we're doing wine, and we do wine and beer, and also essential oils. We're creating those kind of things. So we have like a business, so that so that we work there. We don't have to go out somewhere else and work. We just work there, or I just work there. So I don't want to create. So that's the thing. So it's all kind of set up, and so people can come, and what will invite many different people to teach different spiritual techniques and also music. So all kinds of musicians will come and do performances out there. There's going to be a stage in front of the water, and then they'll be teaching. They'll do workshops, and then people can come and stay for a week and just learn. And so this sort of thing. So it's just a retreat, and it's a place to, when everything's fallen apart, you can go there and relearn how to deal with everything that's going on, and just stay there for a little bit, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to go off and do my own thing now. And so I've learned how to, raise food. I've learned how to, for example, I can make essential oils or whatever it is, or I can make medicine. So it was a medicine. That's what it was. Yeah. So we'd make a lot of herbal remedies and things like that as well. And then, lots of classes on how to channel, and how to meditate, and how to play music, and all that kind of stuff. So that's the dream. And I've had it in my mind. I got it all like set up. I've got the schematics all written down and everything. Some of the stuff is not quite decided yet. I don't know how rustic it's going to look, or even how Japanese it's going to look, or I'm not sure. But it's not in Japan though. It's somewhere in the countryside, and I think it's in the east coast of America somewhere, but it might be a little bit more south. So anyway, so that's what I mean. Like these kind of things, that I think would make me happy. So I'd have a space and a place, and then people of a like mind could come, and we could just basically have a great time. It's kind of like those hippie communes, but without all the patchouli. Although I do like patchouli. That's like my go-to fragrance is patchouli, to the regret of most people around me, I'm sure. Oh my God, he's putting on the patchouli again. Who puts patchouli on? What does he think this is, 1969? So anyway, I'm gonna go into a channeling, and in the channeling today, one last thing. Sorry. In my dreams last night, I realized that. So I woke up this morning. I've been waking up a lot recently, really, really tired, and I was in I'm not supposed to say the place, but I was in a place that's important right now on the world stage, and I was doing some work there, and it was very, very intense work, and I just caught the glimpse of it at the end, and it was, yeah, and so it's like I need to like sleep after I've slept in order to make up for all the work, but I think a lot of us are doing a lot of work in our sleep these days, and so I think be kind to yourself is what I wanted to say. Yeah. All right, and now I'm gonna go into a channeling, and I'm gonna ask, do they have anything to say for today? We are at March 30th, 2025, and Michael, you say radon is the true way of happiness. Yes, in small amounts, right? So, all right, here we go. Hold on, let me turn this off. Greetings, we are Esmeralda. We're here, we're here, we're here. And we are what you might call this channeler's main guide. And we have guided him through many different lives. And we have been together in different lives, and we've seen each other in lives. And we also are in contact quite often these days as well. When you are able to start channeling, and by what we mean by this is opening up a channel so that not only are you involving yourself with your imagination when you go inside, but you start to connect with other beings. So when you start to open that channel up more and more, the amount of information that is available becomes more and more as well. And you are able to piece together things from a different perspective than usually you would. Usually you would be on the ground, working from what you see around you. But similar to your Google Maps, you have the street view. So usually you are just in the street view, but you can shift your view, your perspective to the aerial view with guidance. With guidance, you can see overall what is happening. So usually you would think that I should turn left here, but from the guidance, from the higher perspective, they see that turning left here would cause a whole scheme of events, and it would be better if you turned right there. And simple things such as this, it gives you a different perspective on your life. It enables you to follow your blueprint a little bit easier, we would say, so that you are not caught up in all of the emotions that are clouding every single second, and you're able to step a little bit outside of time. And time is what we would like to reference today. Time, as this being has brought up, time is something that is a useful tool for all of you. It has been a very useful tool for all of you, but it also can be a prison if you don't understand that it is a tool. If you are imprisoned by a tool such as time, which has no ability to make decisions for you, then you are imprisoning yourself in an illusion which will make the illusory nature of your reality even more illusory. So it's important to understand that time, even as all of you know, time can speed up, time can slow down. This is not a perception in that sense, that it's not a perception of something that is moving along always at the same speed and you are just perceiving it differently. No, no, no. Time does not move in that way. When you're perceiving time slow down, time is slowing down. Your meters that measure this, your watches, your clocks, your timepieces, your atomic timepieces, they are not measuring the actual time because it cannot be measured. It is a perception, but everyone's perception of it is different. So everyone would have to have their own special watches that continually change throughout the time in order to measure the actual time of that one person. So your atomic clocks are just geared towards one person's perception of time. Much like all of your science is as well. It's geared towards one person's perception of how things work. But things work differently for everyone, as you've noticed. Everyone lives a different life. Everyone has different things that work for them and things that don't work for them. And this is the truth, as well as time. So it's important for all of you to understand this about time and all of the things that you're told about time, that you will age over time, or that when this time comes around, you should be doing this. Many of you have life plans that when you reach a certain age, this is where you should be. This is what you should be doing. And understanding that that is a false construct. Time doesn't exist in that way. You are free to do what you would like to do at whatever time. But it is your perception of time which will age you. That is, the aging process is caused by your perception of time, just like your perception of gravity is what causes you to not fly. It is all about perceptions, but your perceptions are held quite deeply, and these are held in your DNA throughout many, many generations. And so it can be difficult to overcome this, but the concept of time is something that it is easier to overcome because you understand how fluid it is. And so what we would suggest today for all of you as an experiment, as something to try if you are so willing, feel time. What does time feel like for you right now? Is it speeding up? Is it slowing down? Where are you in time? Can you step out of time? Try stepping out of time. Stepping out of time means stepping out of the emotional cage that you're in. Stepping out of time means moving into as this being the neutral point, because it is behind time. It is beyond time. Time exists only in the polarities, but in the middle place there is no time. In the middle place you're able to see time moving as it moves, and you're able to understand how it works. And this understanding is very important for all of you in order to follow your pathway easier. Once you step out of time, you step out of the emotional constructs, out of the time constructs, you'll find that many things will become much lighter for you. Things that felt so heavy and so difficult will seem quite light. All right, that's interesting. Little lecture on time there. So I hope you guys are hopeful today. Today, Pocket of Peace. We're just going to ask that the Pocket of Peace that we did yesterday will continue on today. And so we'll just infuse that energy for all of you. And I hope you guys are hopeful. And hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. And see you next time. And all right, as they say in Okinawa, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Go beach. Hey. So, anyway, guys, thanks and ciao for now. And Michael, thanks for joining in as well, and everyone else as well.